Back again, it's your brother Tactical. Today with another blade. This time a sword. Swords are always cool. This is the Shinwa Black Knight Damascus sword. Ninja sword, whatever. Comes in a little black bag. Now I got two of these. The first one I bought was about 190 bucks. And it didn't come with a box, besides a cardboard box. It just came with this. You know. Then I bought another one later, this actual one. And this one was on sale for 100 bucks. And this one came with a little funky box, a little cheesy box, but it's still kind of cool. I was like, what the? So you pay 190, no box. You pay 90 bucks, 100 bucks, you get a box. Whatever. But yeah. And this is the one I got for 100 bucks. This is my second one. Okay, so this one ain't the Black Knight. I was lying. We'll call it the Copper Knight, because it's the copper version. I don't know if it's still called the Black Knight, whatever. Probably not. It's got the copper, but what the hell? Sorry about that. I thought it was a hummingbird or something. I seen a little birdie. Anyways, sorry about that. Back to the blade. See if we can get this thing friggin' in here. I'll give you some close-up shots and shit. Now, I'm not gonna pretend like I know all the little Japanese names for each little part. I know that's a manuki. Okay, that's about it. So I'm gonna give you this shit in layman's terms, my terms, real language, because I don't pretend to be an expert. Although, using it, I've used swords a bunch ever since I was little. When I first thought I wanted to be a ninja, you know, when I was like single digit, I started doing martial arts and stuff. And sword was always my favorite weapon. You know, I learned the nunchucks, the kamas, the sais, all the different, you know, stars, stuff like that. All the different weapons, but the sword was always my favorite. So I dedicated a lot of time and practice, and I still do when I get the chance. This is still my favorite weapon of choice. But I'll give you some close-up shots, and we'll go over the specs on this thing. I'll give you some close-up shots. Wood scabbard, black lacquer on it. It's got a little. That's not even metal. That's like frickin' plastic. But hey, whatever, right? Not too bad. Take it out. Now, overall length on this thing is 40 inches. Handle length, 11.5 inches. It's like, I don't know, kind of like a little bit of cheap metal. I'm not even sure what that is. Supposedly that is ray skin. And I think this is a cotton wrap as well. A little dragon manuki. See, I know that word. Little fake gold one. Same thing on the other side. Now, I'm not sure on the weight either. I'm guessing around 2 pounds. It's a little dragon. Same thing on the other side. Blade length is 28.25. Now, this is like the fake Damascus. It does look neat. It's got a double fuller on it. My Black Knight, the regular black one, that has a single fuller. But besides that and the color, they're the same thing. I don't know if that's focusing, but yeah. So it looks pretty neat. Now the only real cutting I've done with this sword is pretty much water bottles, you know, milk bottles, gallon, stuff like that. And it worked well. Sure, it's only a freaking plastic bottle, so what is that saying? Yeah, it tells you, you know, whatever, initial sharpness, and that's pretty much it. It doesn't really tell you anything about strength, but I had one back in the day, an old one, and the freaking wrap was all loose, and this thing was all loose, whatever you call that darn thing. That's a problem with anything that's cheap when it comes to these. This did the same thing. It's not bad, but it does get loose. You whip this around a bunch, and this does get a little loose. So I moved it all back on, and you know, that's kind of that's one thing that separates a good sword from a bad sword. But for a cheap sword, this was, you know, 100 bucks, max 180. I'd have to say it's worth the money for that. You know, it ain't like, I wouldn't consider this battle ready. You know, they say this is Damascus. This ain't real Damascus. That's freaking fake. You know, the thickness is decent. I'd have to say, I don't know the exact spec, but it's over 3/4 of an inch. You know, it's not too bad. And it just, you know, tapers slightly like it should. Now I did hit a sapling on accident. And I'll show you. Yeah, you can see what happened to it. It's very slight. I actually got to look for it. Okay, you guys might not be able to see this. Let's see if I can. No, there's no way. But anyways, there's a little wave. I overswung on a water bottle and just nicked a sapling. Oh, I just hit it a little bit. It wasn't like I hit it hard. You know, it was at the end of my stroke. So, and I was surprised it put a little freaking wave in it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So, I'm not even sure what kind of steel this is. They say Damascus steel. Well, I guess it could be a really shitty one, but sorry, I'm not trying to diss too much. Shinwa, for the money, it's cool, but shouldn't really lie about your product. But yeah. But I rate this sword as far as swords go, you know, especially like samurai, oriental swords, stuff like that. I've never had a really good one. Actually, if you watch my next video, I did get a better one, but I haven't even looked at it yet. So you have to stay tuned and see what kind that is. And that one I'm hoping will be my best. But so far, this was the best oriental sword I had. I got a lot of medieval swords. One I got's an actual handmade, real deal. That thing's like freaking, it's awesome. It's one of a kind. And you can see it in one of my weapon collection videos. Sorry, I should hold up the sword so you can see it. As of what I've handled for, you know, the oriental style, you can still tell it ain't. Not that I've handled something super awesome yet, but you can just tell, you know, for water bottles, it's fine. If you just want to go out there and practice, cut some water bottles up, it's definitely cool and it's worth the money. It's a good training tool. It's a good practice tool. If you did drop it, you know, you're not going to totally cry and be like, oh my God, there goes my $400, $500, $1,000 sword, whatever it is. You know, it's $100 as long as you get it on sale. It's totally worth that. So I'm not going to totally diss it. It is worth, you know, $100, even $180 for just for the training you get with it. You know, especially if you're not used to swords, good training sword. Battle ready? No, I wouldn't say it is. So, just saying that, I'd probably give it like a 5. You know, it's thick. It's a lot better than a lot of ninja swords I got back in the day. Little crappy $50 pieces of shit. This would cut them in half. But I'd probably give it just like a 5 or something. Yeah. Well, thanks for stopping by. Stay tuned for my next sword vid. And until the next time we meet.